Okay, so here we are at the RV that I'm getting the engine out of. It's got a 350 in it. I'm going to pull that out and we're going to take it home with us and we're going to slap that in the old S10 that's in the shop. So, story on this is my Uncle Clayton, he got this RV from my dad. It's been a few years back, but we were going to put this engine that's in here in his 72 Chevy that he had, but he's got rid of that project and he's moved on to more awesome things since then. So it's got super low miles on it. So let's just hope that it runs really good when we get it out and everything. It's been sitting a minute. But here's what I like about it the most. It's got a turbo 400 transmission in it, which is going to be awesome. And I can't wait to get that stuffed in that S10 because we'll have this thing in there running. And the engine, it has no carburetor on it. We pulled it off in order to get through here with a piece of pipe that we're going to use on the end of a backhoe bucket to get this out. And I actually yesterday came up when I got done working on Clayton's truck and I cut the floor right here, open that up because this thing's kind of sunk into the mud where the frame sits pretty low. I don't think I can fit underneath of it. So we'll go ahead and I'm going to get this. I got the tail shaft to take undone, the bolt on it. And then I have the driveline bolts. And I think I'm going to probably try to pull part of the driveline, at least the first section of it, just so that I can cut it down maybe and use it in the S10 if I need to, or use the yoke off of it, whatever I need to use. So I'll put you guys on time lapse and we'll get this show on the road. Here's what we did. I ended up just smushing the roof back on this motorhome so I could make room to get all my stuff out. And I just got to clean my mess up. And then I think I'm going to be headed out as well here in a minute. So as you can see, I just used the backhoe. We just kind of smashed everything up and then got my engine out. I stood it up on its end to get it out. So I wanted the transmission with it. And I kind of dinked up my valve cover, smashed it a little bit. But it's okay. I put new valve covers on it and I'll put new intake and everything on it. It'll look totally different when I'm done. Good thing is I didn't get my oil pan or my tranny pan and I didn't break nothing really. The only things I kind of smashed were the dinked the valve covers up, like I said. Trying to get through there with those. But it's on the trailer now, so now I'll start my 120-mile drive home here in a minute after I go park this backhoe and clean up my mess. And I'm out of here, and I'm going to start getting my S10 put together the rest of the way in the shop. So you guys might want to watch that. This has been quite the adventure. It's been rough, actually, but hey, I got it out. That's what matters. So I'll catch you guys here shortly once I get home. Hey, everybody. So we made her back home from down to Mount Carmel. Got my engine home. My uncle also hooked me up with this carburetor when I was down there. It's brand new since I put the LS motor in his truck. Hook me up with that carburetor. We'll see if we can get it to run good with that one, because the carburetor off the motorhome is gone. It's junk, so we'll do that. But also Kean, he climbed up underneath here. I told you guys I had to take the exhaust out still. Kean had already climbed under here and unbolted everything and took it out for me, so that helped me out a lot. Leaves me with less to do. We had went ahead and I've got an intake. What is it? It's a bow tie intake manifold, and I've got some chrome valve covers, and I got some engine paint and a bunch of stuff. So probably next couple days I'm gonna start getting my engine all put together how I want it, and then I'm just gonna take it and we're gonna stuff it in here in one piece. Since, as you can see, I've got kind of a mess here. I got stuff stacked on here that I've been working right here using this grinder, cleaning up rust and this kind of stuff. And I got my
front bumper hanging out there. But anyway, we'll go ahead and stuff it in one piece, and then we'll go ahead and get the front clip on this thing and get it all ready to be bolted up and everything. And then we'll go ahead and start hooking. We'll hook up all the wiring. You guys seen all the wiring on the last video. We'll go ahead and hook all that stuff up and stuff it in. I got stuff laying here that don't even go to this project because I've been trying to get things done. So I'll go ahead and show you guys the next little bit as we get going here, and I'm going to try to get my engine unloaded, and I'd like to get it started into here maybe this evening or something. I might pull a late night tonight because I've been working about 7 days a week for the last probably 2 or 3 weeks now. I need a day off, just one. So I'll probably start working on some of this stuff once we get everything caught up in the shop, all the projects. I've got 2 cars I got to finish, and then I'll be able to concentrate a little more time on this, get it done. It needs to be done before we have some drag races again, because the last ones got canceled on us. So hopefully I have this thing ready for the next ones before that happens. Since I knew they were canceling it, I haven't really pushed it too hard, but I do want to get it done before that time comes. So we'll keep working at it, and I'll show you guys what we're doing and explain it to you as we go. And if I think of anything else, any other little tricks I can tell you guys to make your swap a little easier, I'll go ahead and do so for sure. So I'll catch you guys shortly.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Noel's Family Garage. So I got the RV engine all pulled out of out of the trailer, one that we pulled out a few days ago. So I'll go ahead and show you guys. This is all the crap that I took off of it. Right here. There's all the stuff that I pulled off of it. I started cleaning it up a little bit. I had a set of Edelbrock valve covers. They're kind of rusty, but they're better than nothing. And I've got a different manifold for it, so I didn't worry about cleaning that up too good. But I got the block pretty well cleaned up and everything, and the heads and all that stuff, so it worked out pretty good. I still got to change out my motor mounts and a few other little things like that. And now I'm going to change out my intake manifold. So I'm hoping I can get this thing stuffed in this truck in the next day or so. That's what I'm really hoping. So she's just ready to go now. So we'll keep on picking at it, and I'm hoping to have it in there the next day or so, and I can show you guys a few more things. I didn't bore you guys with replacing all the parts on the engine, because that's just stuff we all do anyway usually, and do it our own way. So I still want to get the transmission all cleaned up and everything. It's kind of dirty still. It's covered in broken glass and insulation and nasty grease. So I had a set of rubber valve cover gaskets on the shelf, so I use those on this engine, those Edelbrock covers. But I'll be getting another set of valve covers later, but that can probably get them in and get us in and get us running anyway, since I put dents in the tops of the other valve covers trying to get that engine out with the backhoe, because I couldn't get it to fit very good. So I'll keep on picking at this, and we'll get this thing stuffed in probably the next day or so. I'd like to get it in today, but I got a welding job coming today about noon, so I'll probably spend the next 2 days laying on my back underneath a trailer, welding everything up underneath of it, all the supports and everything. So I'll get with you guys when I can, and we'll get this little truck running. I've got a little bit of stuff going on with my motor mounts. I'm getting ready to drop my engine in. It's right here, sitting right there. But on your motor mounts, if you get the same kind that I've got or similar, you're going to run into the same issue and have to make a decision. So here's what I got. So you can see right here, oh, you can't really see it. Let me see if I can get it so you can see it better. Okay, so I've got 2 sets of holes here. So I cut the bottom set off. I can show you on this one. So you can see here, I've just got 1 hole here. This other hole, I cut it off here, because I don't need that one. Because if you can have 2 different positions. If you use the bottom hole that used to be right here, this one actually makes it sit up off your cross member just a little higher. But then you end up running into issues with your trans tunnel. So if you can go low and keep the top set of holes, that's the set that I like to use, the top set. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll make these be the same. So let's see here. Can't really see them good, but there's the two. There's the one, because I cut the bottom one off. I'll do the same to this one, cut the bottom set of holes off, and then I'll be set to go. Hello everybody. So I had the boys out here helping me. I have both my boys out here. They helped me get my engine stuffed in the S10 after I got it kind of painted up, half kind of how it should be. So what we're going to do now is, so I've showed you guys all this stuff before, but we're going to go over it again. So let's see here. So this is my temp sensor out of the 2.2 liter right here. This is a little vacuum piece that went in here for this engine, which I'm going to get rid of this intake eventually, but for now this will work. But if you look, these are threaded exactly the same threads as you would have here normally. So you can take this wire that goes with that and you can just plug it right back in once you get it in there. And same with, let's see, the alternator, that one's going to be later. Distributor, I can get that put in and get it wired up. And I wish I had a better flashlight. Let me see if I can get a light so I can kind of show you guys this. Alright, so there's the motor mounts. You can see them, how they work out with the 2.2 or the 2.8 liter bottom mounts, which is this piece down there. And then the $22 eBay upper mounts that are here. Oh, you can't really see them too good right here where my finger's at. But you cut the bottoms off of those mounts. They got two sets of holes. If you cut the bottom set off, it'll leave you enough room where you have plenty of room down in there. And I've got like a good 1.5 inches between my oil pan. And I got my engine setting a little high. If I let it down where it needs to go, roughly, it's going to fit perfect. Good morning, everybody. It's a new day out in my shop today. So I went ahead, I slid my engine a little bit forward, which is, you'll have to do that, and you'll have to also, so what you're gonna have to do, you'll have to slide your engine forward and backwards to get your distance that you need for everything to line up. Then you'll also have to crank your engine one way or the other, get your headers to fit so they're not banging on the steering shaft that runs through them, which I've still got to do that part, but I've got enough room and I've pushed my firewall in just enough where my distributor fits back in here. But I am going to go ahead and do a little bit of wiring on this thing. I'm going to hook up, as I showed you guys before, here's my distributor positive. So this wire is going to hook to the wire that says battery on here, battery positive, and then I got a tack wire as well, but I'm not hooking it up right now as of yet. But we will get this distributor wire all wired in. So you guys stay tuned and I'll get that done and I'll go to the next step as we go. Oh, and I don't know if I showed you guys yesterday, but my temp sender, I screwed it into the intake manifold here, which is a good spot for it to go. It's kind of out of the way and I can kind of get this stuff all loomed up and tucked back in here when I'm done. And I've still yet to get here's my oil pressure sensor. I've still got to get that to plumb into this here. But I'll probably have to take this to the parts store with me, this piece. I'll just have to undo it here. Like that. Take this with me. And I'll also have to take this one with me as well. And I'll have to have them adapt this over so that those threads can fit to this. So I can screw it into the block. And then my oil sender will be all plugged in where it goes. And all will be right. So we'll work on that. And I think I'm going to try to get my engine twisted around where it needs to be so I can tighten up my motor mount bolts. And it will make it so I can get my headers on. So basically I'll be able to get underneath of it. I'll be able to build my cross member after I get the headers on. and then I'll be able to build my exhaust and get it over the cross member where I want it to go. And we'll fabricate all the stuff for that, and we'll build some new hangers and things for the exhaust. And I will just keep showing you guys as we go. So keep watching, and I'll keep telling you all the steps as we go so that you can do this yourself. One more thing before I go. So this part right here is a pain in the butt because you've got all your brake lines coming up into here, and they run right into the headers basically. So I'm gonna have to adjust some of this stuff and kind of get some little bends in it and get it out of the way. I want it as far away from the exhaust as I possibly can. I may even I might wrap these headers on this side with some heat wrap to keep the heat off the brake lines. So we'll get to it as we go, but probably getting a little ahead of myself here. So I'm going to put the camera down and I'm going to get some more of this stuff done, and I'll get back with you guys shortly. All right. The headers all in now. They're not bolted up. I just kind of got them mocked up in there. They're not sitting exactly where they're going to go. I'm going to have to do a little adjusting. I hope I don't have to cut that damn bottom tube off of this one like I did on the last truck I built, because of that freaking spark plug right there that's really close. That green spark plug needs to come out and get new ones. So we'll see what we can do here. This side will sit in there pretty easily. It sits right where it's supposed to. I could bolt it up. But I'm waiting. I was going to get the distributor started in, but I need to get my number 1 top dead center and do a few things with that. And I'm glad that Kian and Cody were able to help me today get this thing stuffed in here. So, and that manifold, it's going to get changed out. It's not staying. I've got a bow tie manifold to put on here that's sitting over there. So we'll change it out. Probably not for now. I want to make sure it's going to run first, because I don't know nothing about this engine other than it has low miles and there's no water in the oil. So hopefully it's okay, or we'll be hunting another engine. But all right, everybody. So since we got this engine stuffed in here, you can see right here, I cut off the ears off the bottom of this, which it might be different for you, but that got my engine to set low enough. I mean, I've got all kinds of room. You can see back here, down behind the firewall, I can put my whole hand down in there and it fits. So that's good. And I think that maybe the Turbo 400 is a little narrower than the Turbo 350 as far as the slope this way, because it fits really well. And I also have enough room where I can take off my distributor cap and I can pull the distributor right up and out. So I got that set, and I've got it slid closer to the left side than the right side, which that's going to help with my alignment of my drive line and everything in the back, because you can see right there I'm off I've got about an inch, and to the left about an inch, which I may slide it back to the right just a hair if I need to. But I mean, I've got everything shimmed up. I just threw a couple bolts in this to hold the manifolds on, the exhaust manifolds. This isn't touching, but it was touching when I first put it in. So on this side, I actually went ahead and I shimmed these with some washers on my motor mounts between the block and the plate on that side. And then this side over here is not shimmed at all. So that actually helps set my engine a little bit this way so that it keeps my manifolds from touching over there. And everything's clear. I've still got to bend my brake lines and stuff away from everything. And this side over here, I've got it already bolted into, and it actually clears everything pretty good. And I've got a clear shot underneath. So we might go ahead and start putting the front end back together on this thing soon. So it's coming along really quite nice, actually. And all the other ones that I've built over the last few years of time, they just get easier each time. Like, if I literally had everything I needed to get this thing done, I could probably get it done in a few days. But I'm doing it on a budget, and I'm doing it as I can afford to buy the things I need. And I've had a lot of people help me out, like Clayton from Sawdust and Lug Nuts. I've been helping him with his project, and he gave me this engine and transmission. So we're gonna run with it and see if we can get it going. We're supposed to go to the races, I think the 14th of this month, and I was gonna run it down there just for fun. but I don't think I'm going to take it down there. I think I'm going to end up probably waiting until next month, and I think we have another race on the 5th. I think I'm going to try to make that one for sure, and just to run it just for fun, because anymore you can't really run around on the street smoking your tires or any of that kind of stuff anymore, because you'll end up getting some charges, and it ain't worth it. So all right, as you can see, also I've been doing a little wiring. I've been taking some of the wires that I already have and I'm making a list of all the things I'm going to need for this. And I got a different manifold for it and a brand new carburetor. So there's my bow tie manifold. I've started polishing it out. I've still got to finish polishing it up a little better. But that manifold is going on this block. It's just kind of a, I think it's kind of a no-name carburetor, but I believe it's probably gonna fit right on this manifold, honestly. So just like so. So that'll be the setup I'm gonna run on this for now. But I want to finish polishing it out first because it looks good where I've polished it already. I just need to finish hitting it. I've been using a wire wheel. It takes that oxidation right off. And then I think I can probably take, I'm hoping this stuff, because this fits in this manifold for the temp sensor, but I'm hoping that maybe it'll screw into this manifold somewhere. I'm sure it will. Like it could go in probably there. Then my heater will go in right there, or actually I'll probably put my heater in on this side, get rid of that one, put this heater fitting back in that side. But it'll look good when it's all done, and it's coming along every day. So, but that'll probably wrap it up for this one. Oh, I did need to mention, I did get the cross member in, but I've got to climb under there with my die grinder, my Sawzall. And I got to do a little trimming, and then I got to build a little adapter pad so that when I get the transmission sitting exactly where I want it, I'll be able to make a little pad that I can sit along the front of the cross member, and I'll lift it up right where I want it, and I'll tack it, and then I'll pull the cross member out, and then I'll weld up that piece, drill the holes in it for the mount and everything, and then put it back in, and then I'll be set. And then I can get the driveline built and get a few other things put together on it. And I think I've still got to get all this stuff done. Then once I get everything else done, I'm going to unbolt my bed, roll it out of the shop, pull the bed off, pull the fuel pump out of it, and I'm going to go back to a engine ran fuel pump just so it's mechanical. And that mechanical makes it a little better sometimes for what I'm doing. And I think I've got enough parts to build my full exhaust system, so you guys just stick with me and I'll show you some other little things as I go. And I've got to order some stuff too. Like I need a high torque small starter, and I need just a few other little bits and pieces here and there. So we'll get those, and I'm going to try to round up all the auxiliary drive off of a 94 Chevy, and I'll use that compressor, alternator, all that stuff. It'll all work with the way everything's set up, and then I can run a serpentine setup instead of a V-belt. So you guys stick with me, and I'll show you guys all that stuff as we go too. But I'm just happy it's starting to come along finally. So you guys don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.